The British Prime Minister Keir Starmer has condemned the weekend's protests, the violent protests that is, which saw at least 147 people being arrested since Saturday night. Starmer has warned that those involved will face the full force of law.
I utterly condemn the far-right thuggery we've seen this weekend. Be in no doubt, those that have participated in this violence will face the full force of the law. The police will be making arrests, individuals will be held on remand, charges will follow, and convictions will follow. This is not protest. It is organised, violent thuggery, and it has no place on our streets or online.
Well, John Beaver now joins us from Bristol with more on this. John, well, thuggery is what Starmer calls these protests. Have they taken on a life of their own? What's driving them?
Yeah, I think they absolutely have. That's a very good way of putting it. Certainly, to start with, there was a feeling that these were being organised by far-right groups who were maybe protesting immigration and the levels of immigration. But now it has just dissolved into what some senior police officers have said is simply an excuse to start fights, to create violent disorder, to riot, to fight with the police, to fight with counter-protesters who support a multicultural Britain. So it very much seems now that everything is just being used very much just as an opportunity to actually just create some problems, really. And we've seen various senior politicians from the Prime Minister down all saying that the full force of the law will be implemented when it comes to dealing with these people, that justice will be swift and decisive, was how it was put this morning. So certainly the police and senior politicians trying to very much get on top of the issue and to say that this is unacceptable in a modern Britain and that something needs to be done. As you say, this all started after the tragic mass stabbing in northwest England last week, and misinformation about where the suspect was from and the fact that he could have been an immigrant, specifically a Muslim immigrant. We now know that's not true and he was born in the UK. But that's how it started. But as you say, it now does seem to have taken on a life of its own and is very much people looking to cause violence.
John, also, how serious is this xenophobia? Is there fear among the immigrant communities?
There certainly is, yes. We have heard from various charities, from various groups who monitor violence and xenophobia and religious discrimination, Islamophobia, everything like that. And what all of them are reporting back is that people say they are afraid. They are afraid because maybe of their religion, specifically if they're Muslim. We've heard about attacks on some mosques and that there has been improved security at some places to try and counter that. We've heard people saying they're afraid because of the colour of their skin. All of this coming in what is a very multicultural country in terms of the languages people speak, where they're from, what they look like, the religion that they practice. So there is no room for this in modern day Britain, is certainly the message that's coming from the government and from the police as well. It is worth saying, though, that although this violence has been quite widespread, the police have been reacting to it and have known about it. They don't appear to have been caught out by it. It's because, of course, in order to organise these protests, most often these protesters have to gather online to work out the best time and place to meet, and the police have been aware of that. So the police have been out in force in the cities where this has happened. So it doesn't look as though it's going to be spilling out, and certainly the police have promised a firm response in case of any more trouble this week.
John Beaver in Bristol, thanks very much.